nice and loud. This is Casey's presentation on the rights and responsibilities of journalists, and he's portraying William Randolph Hearst. So, go ahead.
All right. Well, so yellow journalism, it's a very interesting type of journalism because it's exactly what you might think journalism isn't. You see, because it contains little or next to no legitimate facts whatsoever. It's instead replaced by flashy headlines, immense use of graphics, and even sometimes faked interviews. One of the key players in yellow journalism who really kick-started the whole thing and made people realize what it really was William Randolph Hearst, he was the publisher of the New York Journal, and he is basically the reason why many of this got well known in the public, because he's well known for starting the Spanish-American War, which is often referred to as the First Press War.
Hearst Corporation. Yes, Mr. Hearst is available to talk. Mr. Hearst, Mr. Thatcher would like to speak with you.
This is William Randolph Hearst. Yes, that's right. Well, I think it's best, and if I'm correct, that's really what matters around here. Well, if you see this my way, Hitler, he's a man who knows how to control the masses and get the job done. I think that's admirable in a man. Now, I don't remember you being in anywhere position to order me around. So now you're worried about my reputation, is that it? Well, let's put it this way. Everything that the people said is wrong. Everything that's come out of that movie is wrong. You know, we'll talk about this later. Just get me that Hitler interview as soon as possible. You know, this might be the finest idea I've ever had. It'll certainly make for an interesting story. You know, I never realized that I would be questioned so severely in life. I mean, ever since I started this business, it's just been, excuse me, Mr. Hearst, I don't think this is correct. Are you sure that this should be put in the papers? I mean, it's not even true. Well, are you going to prove to me that it's not? I have rights. I can put whatever story I want in the papers whenever I want. It's also my responsibility, and it's a great pleasure of mine. I remember my first thoughts on the matter. I thought it would be fun to run a newspaper. But I never expected my words to be as twisted as they were by Orson Welles. Look at this. Look at this. Citizen Kane. A film that's obviously based on me, but it has taken me as some sort of tyrannical dictator. Is that what I am? It's making so much money. It's making much more money than I had ever imagined it would. And it's even gotten itself 9 Academy Awards. 9. I even paid the man to get it off the screen. He refused. Ever since I started in this business, it's just been questions after questions. People don't seem to understand that what I'm doing is the right thing. It's also my responsibility. I mean, people are going to expect me to fulfill my responsibilities. This goes all the way back to when I started at the Harvard Lampoon. After all, I was, for the record, expelled for misconduct. Shortly after that, my father handed me the San Francisco Examiner, and I'd say that I turned things around for the better. And I can say the same for the New York Journal. It was circling the drain when I picked it up. I hired the finest writers, upgraded their equipment, but let's not forget, I changed things. I stirred it up. News has been nowhere near interesting since this. But now, a warship has been sunk. The destruction of the warship Maine was the work of an enemy. Now, how would you all like to see that on the front page of your newspaper? But no, I'm still questioned. Some of the finest writers are working for me. Some of the finest writers are reporting on these topics, and here they are gawking at me like a boy in front of a candy store. Mr. Hearst, I don't think this is correct. I mean, there's no proof of this ever. I mean, you can't really prove this, Mr. Hearst. Well, let me tell you this, I don't really care. It's my rights. I have rights. Therefore, I'm going to put any paper I want, any story I want in the paper, because it's my responsibility. I never seem to get thanked for what I did for the New York Journal. I practically carried it on my shoulders for all that I did for it. And the worship Maine, well, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, that was all my fault. I mean, I am basically the one who started that. But why shouldn't we have gone to war with the Spanish? It made for good news, didn't it? I'm sure that's all what you wanted when you picked up the newspaper. Good news. Let's think of it this way. I'm William Randolph Hearst. I run the publisher. 1 in every 4 Americans has read my newspapers. And yet, here I am being questioned about what I truly do. What is my job? You see, if you ever have any problems, or if you have some hard-boiled, solid proof that some of these things had never happened, or maybe you just wanted to, I don't know, congratulate me or acknowledge my hard work on this paper, I'd love for you to give me a call. With this absolute garbage floating around Hollywood these days, I'm expecting to get lots of interesting calls in the next few days. The end.